What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Night Terrors Black Adam issue number 2. This one is written by Jeremy Hahn and art by, I'll have to look for the credits at the end of the issue, but the artwork is quite good. So this one takes place right after the previous issue of Night Terrors, where Batman kind of showed up at the very end, but it's really just Deadman impersonating Batman. I guess this is in the Nightmare realm, and in essence, what Deadman's doing, he's trying to warn Black Adam about, hey, everyone's trapped in this nightmare realm. You have to find a way to free yourself, because you're kind of in the in-between, if you will. So that's what's going on here. Black Adam, of course, has to face off against more of his fears and insecurities, if you will. He warned him about insomnia. He faces off against the Wizard at one point, who turns into some sort of crazy skeleton-looking nightmarish creature. Black Adam has to kind of fight it, and then the issue, in essence, kind of ends saying, hey, this is going to be continued in Night Terrors Night's End. So, of course, Jeremy Hahn was the writer, and then colors by Nick Flaherty and Rex Locust. So, yeah, so that's the end of chapter 2, just setting the stage for him to show up in Night Terrors Night's End. So, as kind of expected, this whole Black Adam storyline, you probably could have just skipped it overall in terms of the Night Terrors events, but it is easy to follow. The artwork is quite good. Deadman actually did show up in this one, so at least there's something. No real insomnia looking for the Nightmare Stone, if you will, really kind of being an important factor into the plot. It's just to say, hey, this is what Black Adam was up to that led him to this event, or when he shows up at the end of this little Night Terrors thing. So it's got to mean something at some point, but I mean, it's pretty much just kind of a standalone thing. It almost the Night Terror stuff feels like a bit of an afterthought, outside of Deadman showing up at one time to warn Black Adam of the whole situation. So maybe Black Adam will appear in more stuff. I don't know, but only time will tell. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say about this thing. I really did like the artwork, and there's some cool images and little action bits, if you will, of Black Adam fighting. And you kind of see him splitting back and forth between Black Adam and Teth Adam consistently. So I thought that was kind of unique, if you will. But as an issue that builds on the whole Night Terrors event, I thought this one was just sort of all right. It reads really fast. So, I mean, I read this thing, you saw how fast I kind of skimmed through that thing. It doesn't take very long to read. It moves at a quick enough pace. It's just kind of harmless, but if you're trying to collect everything Night Terrors, I don't think this one's all that important to the overall event. It just feels like a bit of here's some kind of extra side missions going on while this whole event's in progress. You don't really need to read it, but if you want to read it, here it is. So that's kind of this one in a nutshell. Didn't feel like it added all that much to Night Terrors, but Black Adam will, I'm sure, show up in another issue and maybe have a bigger role to play. Only time will tell. We have to wait and see how Night Terrors comes to an end, but as it stands, I think you could probably skip the Black Adam stuff. If you're trying to read Night Terrors, you just really want to know, you could probably just save your money and just stick, as I said in the video earlier on today, stick with the Joshua Williamson stuff. That's the more important stuff that really builds on the event, feels necessary to read. Anything else just feels like a bit of an afterthought. So there you go. Not to say that this is a terrible issue or anything, but in terms of really adding to the event, this one didn't really do much overall. So there you go. Don't hate it or anything like that. I think it's just kind of fine with good-looking artwork, but not really all that necessary. So anyways, that's all I have to say about this particular issue. I will be back at some point later on to try and cover the remaining 3 Night Terrors issues for this week. I just have not had time to read them yet, so I want to get this one out of the way and then get ready to talk about some of the other stuff. I think next up I have Poison Ivy, then there's a Ravager, Rose Wilson one, and then there's the second issue with the Joker, which will conclude Night Terrors for this week. So look forward to all that stuff. If you have any comments or concerns or any questions about the issue, or if you have any particular thoughts on it, let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. I always love hearing feedback, hearing what everyone else is saying about this event. I've seen some people who are really into it, and then others who are just this is just kind of a waste of time. This doesn't really do much. So it's been kind of mixed, but there's nothing downright awful with these Night Terrors issues. It just feels like a bit of price gouging, if you will, in terms of DC. I mean, this amount of issues for one particular event is a bit much, let's be honest. So I'm afraid to check to see how much I actually spent on this whole thing overall. So yeah, all right, well, I've rambled on long enough. As always, take care now, bye bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.